Hi guys, and welcome back to Claire's Clues. On today's video, I want to talk to you about the book 10x Rule by Grant Cardone. Now, the 10x Rule is based upon understanding the level of effort and the level of thinking required to succeed. Now, the biggest mistake most people make is not setting their goals high enough. So, set your goals 10 times higher than what you would aim for, and set targets that are 10 times the goals that you would ever dream of. So any goal is going to be difficult to achieve, so why not set them higher from the beginning? Right from the get-go, make sure you're setting your goals higher than what you would think you want them to be. So in order to go further, in order to go further than you ever thought possible, you must both think and act 10 times beyond the norm. So operating at activity levels far beyond the norm is 10 times the action and execution, and it will take you far. So limiting the amount of success you desire is a violation of the 10x rule. Don't cap yourself on what it is that you have potential in or something that you wish to achieve. So if it's success that you're going after or looking for, don't cap yourself at mediocre. You can push for far more. You can do better. Everyone has potential to go further. You just need to put in that extra bit of effort. So what you'll find is that so long as you don't violate that 10x rule and you don't stop yourself or limit yourself from being successful or reaching success, whatever that is for you, then I guarantee you that you go places. Now, there's a few common mistakes that people will make and that they do consistently make. And there's 4 here that I've got for you guys. The first one is setting your sights too low. So a lot of people like to set their goals low enough that they're achievable, but they're kind of too low and in the realm of comfortable. So you're really not pushing yourself to achieve much at all. It's something that you could almost do with your eyes closed. So they're not really goals. They're something you could actually do on a day-to-day basis. So they're quite comfortable in that little, I suppose their comfort zone. And the second thing is underestimating how much action is required. So when you are setting goals and you're thinking big, you're dreaming big, you're going out there, you're setting your 10x goals, whatever it is you're doing, a lot of people seem to underestimate how much action is going to be required to actually achieve or see through to the end those goals. So don't underestimate it. If anything, overestimate. Because if you overestimate and then you underachieve on those things, or if you come under par of what you think is going to happen or how it's going to be, then you'll be slightly more happier. You will be, if anything, quite relieved. So that means that you won't be putting in all the effort that you actually initially thought you were because you overestimated in the get-go, in the very beginning. Now, the third thing is spending too much time competing and not enough time dominating. And this is one thing a lot of people get caught up in, and it's the fact that they like having a bit of camaraderie going on around where they work or what's going on, but they get too caught up in the fact that they're trying to match and meet someone else's achievements or levels or success instead of their own. Instead of actually walking in there and dominating whatever it is they want to achieve and making sure that everyone knows that they are the leader of what's going on. So instead of dominating, they go in there and they get quite comfortable with whoever it is that they're around, or having their little games or team meetings and things like that, and they get quite settled in that groove of just being mediocre, I suppose, and they're not dominating. They say they will, but they don't. And last but not least, number 4 is underestimating the amount of adversity that you will have to overcome. So there is going to be so many ups and downs when it comes to achieving success. It's not necessarily a straight path. If anything, I don't think it would ever be a straight path, because success, if it was, everyone would have it. Everyone would be able to achieve it. But the thing is, success only comes to those that put in the effort, that put in their action. They can't just wake up in the morning and go, yeah, I'll be successful tomorrow. Because, gosh, if only that was the case, all of us would be successful. All of us would be in a different position in life. But that's not the case. You have to actually commit 110% to whatever it is you're doing. You have to be all in every day until you see that through, until you reach that goal of success. So don't underestimate the amount of adversity that you'll go through, because there will be so many things that come up. But the thing is that you can prepare for them. You can actually make sure that whenever things do happen, even if you aren't prepared the first time round, when it does come up again, you will know how to handle it. You'll know how to deal with it, and you can manage it head on. Now moving on, it says never to reduce a target. Don't ever explain away failure. Always increase your action. So always just dive in and make sure that you're not saying, oh, but I was tired, so I couldn't do this, and make up a bunch of excuses as to why something couldn't happen. But instead say, look, even though I'm tired, I'm going to find ways to wake myself up. I'm going to find ways to make this happen because I am determined to see this through. So these are things that you could do to make sure that your action meets up with your words. So no matter how tired you are, even if you've had, you're on 2 days of no sleep and you have something that needs to be completed, like, you'll find a way. Where there is a will, there is a way. And if you are 100% set on what it is you want to do or what you want the outcome of, then you will do whatever it takes to get there. And moving on, it also says that it is your duty to be successful. So do not view success as an option. It's not something that you get to choose. I could be successful, or, I could be, sort of close in the realm of successful. No, like, you are 100%, it is your absolute responsibility at the end of the day to be successful. It is all up to you. It all rests on your shoulders, and no matter what happens around you, at the end of the day, it's up to your actions for what it is that you achieve. And being dependent on only one person and only one solution for success is your fault. So you'll find that winners bring in success from many different avenues. So they don't just take one person's advice. They don't just pick up one book and go off that. They won't just do one thing. In fact, they will do multiple things. They will, they'll Google, they'll read, they'll speak to everyone they can, they'll do all the research they can, they'll come up with their own ideas, they'll be invested, they'll even invest their own money and time into whatever it is they need to do to make things happen, to get it moving, because they want that end goal of achievement. They want that success. And moving on, it says, if people comment on your level of action, then you're doing something right. So if people are noticing how much effort and time you're putting into what it is you're doing, then clearly you must be doing something right, because the whole point of what you're doing is to put in that effort, to put in that action, because that is what's going to get you to your end goal. That is what's going to get you to what you want at the end of the day, to live the life that you really dream of. And never play by the agreed upon norms of your industry. So create new ways to dominate your sector. So a lot of people will have their own way or their own little niches of doing things, but you need to go in there and make sure that you have your own specific way of doing it. Something that only you, and you in particular, specifically, do by yourself. And moving on, last but not least, it says the best revenge against your critics is massive success. So for all those that said you'll never make it, you can't do this, it's not going to work, the best thing that you could ever do, or the best revenge you'll ever get, is to truly be successful. So that when the day comes, you can turn around and say, well, guess what? I did make it, and I did it on my own. In a sense, like, obviously you might not do it all on your own, because you might have a team, or you might have, someone supporting you, mentors, you might have all kinds of avenues of people that might, pitch in over the time. But at the end of the day, you were the one that was motivated to get there, to get to that end result and to be successful. You chose that. And last one here, guys, don't think about how much work it is. Think about how great the result is going to be. So it's what's going to drive you through all of this, is thinking about what it is at the end of the day that you're really working towards. What is it that you are dying to have? Is it a lifestyle? Is it something like a car? Are you looking for, to buy a mansion? Whatever it might be that motivates you, think about that end result. Think about the result of what you're going to have when all this is said and done, because that's what's going to get you through all those harder days. All right, guys, I'll do a quick recap of everything I just sort of went through, just really vaguely. So the 10X rule is based upon understanding the level of effort and the level of thinking required to succeed. Now, the biggest mistake most people make is not setting their goals high enough, so that to set your goals 10 times higher than what you aim for, and set your targets set targets that are 10 times the goals that you would ever dream of. And any goal is going to be difficult to achieve, so why not set it higher from the beginning? All right, so in order to go further than you ever thought possible, you must both think and act 10 times beyond the norm. And operating at activity levels far beyond the norm is 10 times the action and execution, and it will take you far further than you could ever imagine. So limiting the amount of success that you desire is a violation of the 10x rule, so don't do that. Don't cap yourself on something that you know you might have the potential to actually succeed at. A few common mistakes that people do make are: one, setting their sights too low, so they're not as ambitious as they could be. Two is underestimating how much action is required. So make sure that you go above and beyond when you're estimating what it is that you need to do or what it's going to take of you to actually achieve your goal. Overestimate so that if you do reach under that mark, you'll be happily surprised and quite, impressed with yourself with the fact that you don't have to put in all the effort that you thought you might have in the beginning. Sorry guys, I ran out of breath there. The third thing is spending too much time competing and not enough time dominating. So, making sure that you are going in there and really putting your all into something that is your own, something that you can say, I dominated this sector and I did it my way. And the last but not least on the few common mistakes is underestimating the amount of adversity that you will have to go through or overcome. Now, like I said, success is not a straight path. You're not going to get there overnight. You can't wake up tomorrow and be successful. You're going to have to put in that effort, and there's going to be, road bumps, speed bumps, and a few things along the way that are going to knock you off the road. But you can always get back on, and you can always keep pushing forward. It also says never reduce a target and never explain away failure. Always increase your action. So always be putting in more action every single time you do something. It is also your duty to be successful, so do not view success as an option. It's not something that you think about you can pick up one day and put it down the next. It is something that you consistently stick with day in, day out. The good, the bad, the ugly, no matter what it is, you stick it out. And I'll just, skip on. What we're going to talk about is the best revenge against your critics. Now, the best revenge against your critics is going to be massive success. So, for all the people that said you'll never do it, or you'll never make it in what it is you're trying to achieve, you'll be able to turn around one day and say, look, for all the adversity that I've been through, for all that I have, sacrificed, here are my results. And they can't say anything because you have the evidence to back up everything, all the time and effort, all the times you looked crazy, all the times that, you didn't sleep simply because you wanted to achieve your goal. Now, last one on this, guys, is don't think about how much work it is. Think about the end result and how great that end result is going to be. So, like I said before, if you're looking towards, maybe buying a mansion, maybe it's a car, maybe, you have other aspirations in life or inspirations that you want to, go meet or things like that, you'll find that at the end of the day, it's what's going to keep you going to get to your goal. That one thing that's going to drive you no matter what, no matter if it's rain, hail or shine, you will, stick it out because of this one thing, the result of what it is you're trying to get. So that's it from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed all these videos. But until next time, leave a comment below on what you like the most. We're making a lot more of these videos for this training series to help you with your personal development goals. But until next time, bye guys.